those of you that have seen me a lot know that what I'm going to say is the first thing. Everything looks better when the ball goes in the basket, and I think it really did. I thought we were tougher mentally in the second half than we were in the first half. They make 8 threes in the first, I think that's right, 7. They were 7 for 14 at halftime, and they only made 2 in the second half. But we did a little better job of getting out there, but the only thing they did is they drove the ball to the basket on us every time. For us, I like the way we took better care of the basketball in the second half, but yet we still had 6 turnovers. It's crazy. We've got to cut down on our turnovers, and I think that for us, looking here, Cam's 5 for 7, Kenny's 3 for 5. You need those guys making those baskets here in that stretch. We had Nasir with 4 fouls, Luke with 4 fouls, and struggling offensively, and then all of a sudden Cam made 3 threes, and Kenny made 2 in about a 5 or 6 minute stretch, and that gave us a little bit of a spread again. And, but I don't like all the foul trouble that we had either.
What was the difference in the second half in limiting your three attempts, the perimeter attempts?
I think we got to them better. We did change a few things, but that makes it sound like coaching. It was just the kids that did. We started switching the screen on the ball, and that gave us a little more help trying to get to the shooter too.
How much of a factor do you think it was that you had 11 players? Miami's kind of limited with 7.
I think it was a factor. There's no question. The last game we played against Notre Dame, we had a nice run in the middle of the second half, and they only had 6 players. And I think that we had some guys play major minutes. Kobe played 32, Cam played 34, Kenny played 34. But even if you get a 2 or 3 minute break, I think it's helpful to you. It's really hard for Jimmy and his staff right now with only 7 guys. I don't know how you practice.
Roy, Cam made 2 big threes during the second half. They cut it to 1 twice, make runs, and both times he came down and made a big 3. He did the same thing against NC State. What does it say about his play, Blake?
Well, he hadn't made a 3 in 2 games, right. So he was overdue. But no, I thought those were huge shots for us, as Kenny's shots were as well. But Cam's a really good shooter. You know, I don't think anybody's a good shooter throwing it over your head backwards towards the goal like he did it in the first half. But he's a good shooter, and we needed those baskets. If he doesn't make those, then all of a sudden the crowd gets into it more and more and more.
You've mentioned toughness in making certain shots in the past. Are those examples of the
Yes.
kind of toughness?
Yeah, toughness is not just fighting somebody. It's being able to withstand some pressure, have the other crowd screaming at you and their team's making a run, and you step up and bang one in right in their face. And I think that's some toughness there.
You talk about trying to cover Chris Likes. What is it about him?
Speed and quickness. I mean, my gosh, and he can shoot from the outside. He can drive the ball to the basket. He's a complete player. I was trying to see how he ended up with 20. 18, Anthony was big for him today too, 3 for 4 from the 3-point line. He was a bad matchup for us as well when we had 2 big guys in there. But I think that Chris is just so quick and clever with the ball. He's hard to keep in front of you, and yet you look there and he played 36 minutes. Zach played 35 minutes. They've got major minutes for those guys.
Did you guys do anything defensively in the second half?
As I said, it gives the credit to coaching more. The only thing we did is we started switching the screen on the ball, and that helped us a little bit.
Are you pleased with how your team has responded since that really loss of these 2 games?
Yeah, I think the second half against Notre Dame and the second half today, we played much better than we did the first half of both games. And you know, I'm ranting and raving and screaming at halftime, trying to get them to be as emotional as our staff is. And I think the toughness and, again, enthusiasm and focus in the second half was better both the last 2 games.
Kobe had 8 assists. Is his understanding of the offense really coming along?
Yeah, 3 turnovers in the first half. I mean, 2 of them were ridiculous. You know, you can't have that. But I jumped on him at halftime. He had 3 turnovers in the first half, and 7th had 2. That's 5 of our 9 turnovers from our point guards, who are supposed to be better ball handlers. But I love when a guy goes a whole half on the road in the ACC and has 0 turnovers.
You mentioned that you were ranting and raving for your team to be as emotional as the coaches have. Is this a team that just doesn't have that personality, but you want to bring that out of them? Or? Well, if we had that personality, we wouldn't have lost as many times as we won. I believe emotion is a big thing in the game of basketball. Enthusiasm, you can call it that. You can call it emotional state. You can call it focus, toughness, all those things. But the mental part of the game is something that's we've got to get better at that part of it. Anything else?
Based on the last 2 second halves, the last 2 games, are you seeing progress in that area?
In what area?
You said the emotion is
well,
part of the
last
game.
2 games, we didn't turn it over as many times as we did in the first half. And then today, we made shots in the second half. We've rebounded the ball better. Neither one of Notre Dame or Miami beat us badly on the boards or anything like that, so we just played better. But I think when you're emotional, you're involved. You know, it's like the stock market. You want to make money in the stock market, you got to invest. Well, you got to invest some emotion and some attitude and some enthusiasm out there if you want to be really good. It's got to be the other terminology I'd use instead of emotion, or in addition to emotion, would be a sense of urgency. I mean, why let a guy drive right by you? Get your tail down in defensive stance and stop him and keep the ball in front of him.
Our locker room's
Thanks,
open.
guys.